some technology issues. My apologies, my absolute apologies. I don't know what just happened, but I believe I'm coming through now. So if I am, please let me know that everything is okay. My big apologies. So we're just going to wait here for a little while for you to get back on the live stream with me. And I see people coming. Hello, everybody. Hello, good afternoon. I don't know what just happened, but we're just going to sit here and wait for folks to join us. I don't know what happened. I am not an expert, so I can't explain it, but I see you're coming back on, and I was not. Okay, can y'all hear me okay? Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. Can you all hear me okay? All right, good. John Horton says good. Thank you, Brother John. Texas Diva says okay. So if you would, somebody just write here. I can hear you. We hear you. Okay, very good. All right, I don't know what happened. My wife, my daughter was supposed to be up here with me, and we couldn't get those things. We couldn't get it straightened out. I don't know what in the world. We were supposed to start at 2:30, and we try to be prompt and so forth because our time and your time is valuable. So our apologies. Okay, so last night, that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about last night. And what I can say is we saw what we saw. We saw what we saw. We saw what we saw with Joe Biden, and we saw what we saw with Donald Trump. And so the question is, what are we going to do with what we saw? Now, I told my wife yesterday before the debate, I said, for me, the debate means nothing. Okay? It means absolutely nothing to me because I have made my choice and Joe Biden is the best choice. So, I jokingly said Joe Biden could totally freeze or just fall out and and it wouldn't matter to me. And on the other hand, Trump could have a silver tongue and say all the right stuff and jump around and dance and break dance. Wouldn't matter to me. My choice is made, okay? My choice is made. I am with the Biden-Harris administration, and I'm going to tell you why. So it really had no impact on me, other than I know some folks will take what we saw with President Biden, especially the first few minutes, and they will run with it. They're going to spin it and so on. But he finished really strong. And when you just compare, and I'm not going to jump ahead of myself because I'm going to tell you exactly why the debate had no impact on me at all. My decision about Trump was made back in 2015. Okay, I'm not new to this. All right, way back when Donald Trump was called for the death of the Central Park Five, I remember that. Way back when. So anyway, I won't jump ahead of myself, but I just want you to know that as far as I'm concerned, the debate had absolutely no impact on me whatsoever, and I'm hoping that it will not have any impact on the voters across the country. None. None whatsoever. All right, so let me greet a few of you, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to be long. It's Friday afternoon. I know you got things to do and so on. But good afternoon to everyone. Self-made, hello, how are you? Mavis Brooks, how are you? Kara Pitts, how are you? Sydney Murphy, how are you? BAUGH 316, Bow, I think that is. How are you? Texas Diva, how are you? And William Nesbitt from Memphis, thank you for joining us. Ivan Elam, thank you too for joining us. Sydney Murphy, thank you for joining us so very much. Phyllis Smallwood, thank you, thank you. Nadine Jor, thank you, thank you. Rolanda Mann, thank you, thank you. Faith, thank you. Raphael, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate the privilege of your time. Marlon Scott, thank you. Brenda Colbert, thank you for joining us. We are just happy that you all are with us. Stone Lively, how are you? Faith, how are you? Bryant Jones, how are you doing this fine Friday afternoon? Brent Richardson, how are you? And Brian Jones, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Marlon Scott, thank you, thank you. So there are many of you here, and I really appreciate you being here. I won't take more time greeting everybody, but to every one of you, thank you for joining me. And again, I'm not going to keep you long. I just want to say that it really does not matter to me what happened in that debate. All right. Now I'm going to go to another screen. Hopefully this works and doesn't freeze us up again. So we'll see how things go here, but it should work. Okay, there we go. Doing live stream. This is live. This is not like recording a video and then being able to fix whatever in post-production. This is live. This is like what happens on live television. You get what you get. So yes, it really doesn't matter to me what happened in the debate. We still strongly support President Biden. And I think there are probably 35 or so % of the country who strongly support Donald Trump no matter what. Then there are probably another 35 or so % who support Biden regardless of what happened. The issue is, how did the debate affect those in the middle, those who are on the fence, those who are talking this talk about voting the couch, all of that stuff, those types of voters. That is what we need to see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Because again, we saw what we saw. Biden was not on his best. Trump neither. And so, it was not a good night for our guy, Biden, in the sense that he started, he didn't start well. He finished very strongly. But there are some things that, again, make me say it doesn't matter what his performance was. I mean, I knew that going in. I didn't have to watch the debate. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why our support, when I say our, the Defiant Lawyers, Chloe wanted to be here. She was set up to be here, but we couldn't get it all worked out. But there are 5 reasons why our support for Biden has not and will not abate. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter to me what happens. I'm with the Biden-Harris ticket. And I have 5 legitimate reasons for doing so. All right. Reason number one, we choose democracy over dictatorship. Trump, MAGA, Project 2025, SCOTUS, the GOP, they are all about a dictatorship. And I choose democracy. Project 2025 is anti-democratic. I did a video on Project 2025 about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, when they first came out and started talking about all the things they wanted to do. And I'm going to do an updated video on Project 2025 because I saw a recent video and some interviews from the president of the Heritage Foundation, which is behind Project 2025. And we got to talk about the crazy stuff that Kevin Roberts said, who again is the president of the Heritage Foundation. And the more I listened to him and then I read things that he wrote, I'm convinced that these folks are trying to move us toward autocracy with Trump at the helm. I don't want to get into it now because I'm going to get deeply into it in my upcoming Project 2025 video. Should have it this weekend. SCOTUS released a couple of cases today that are alarming, to say the least. They are alarming. When I seen them coming down the pipe, I'm like, okay, this six deeply conservative U.S. Supreme Court is making itself known in these opinions. We're still waiting for the immunity case. I just hope that that doesn't go the way some of these other cases that they have released went. Really, I'm serious. Because again, they move us toward autocracy. They definitely move us toward autocracy. So we choose democracy. We're not interested in living in a dictatorship. We're just not. I don't think folks really truly understand what a dictatorship would be like, an autocracy, especially for us minorities. Some sort of fascist, autocratic government. We see that. Just think about countries like Russia, like North Korea, like Hungary, China, places like that. That's not good. That's not good. We are Americans, and for us, it's about democracy. It's about democracy. So we choose democracy over dictatorship. And as you see at the bottom of the screen, we choose character over corruption. If there's anything that we have seen with Trump, he is a corrupt dude. He is a liar. I mean, and I'm going to be specific here, he is a serial liar. A serial liar. He is. I'm not programmed to lie. He is also. I'm sorry, Siri. My laptop is, pardon me, my iPad is here, and Siri heard me say that Trump is a serial liar, and Siri said, "I'm not programmed to lie." So, not talking to you, Siri. Trump is a serial liar. As a matter of fact, his niece, Mary Trump, I believe, said that he's a pathological liar. Pathological, please overlook the misspelled word. A serial liar, pathological liar. And one of the biggest, I mean, it just floored me last night when I heard Trump say that folks had debunked the Charlottesville situation. You remember in Charlottesville where just like Biden said, where the Nazis showed up with tiki torches and were repeating Jews will not replace us. And one young woman, Heather, I forgot her name, got killed. One of the Nazis killed her and went and is serving time for it. And then Trump came out and said there are very fine people on both sides. I mean, we literally saw that. We saw that in the video. We saw what happened in Charlottesville, and we saw Trump's response again in video. Why the dude said it had been debunked when we literally saw it with our own two eyes. Again, this person is just a liar. He's corrupt. Okay? We choose character over corruption. That is the second reason why we are definitely sticking with Biden. Whatever his issues may be with whatever was going on last night, there's one thing that we know. The guy is a guy of character. Okay? He unlike Trump, who again just lie. I mean, just repeatedly tell lies. There were so many lies. I have listened to videos of Trump, and he has told so many lies in a space of 30 minutes that you lose count. That's not character. And when you got someone at the top of the most powerful country in the world, you need someone with character. No doubt. So we choose character over corruption. We choose policies over performance. So Biden's performance was not what we hoped. We had hoped to see the performance that we saw at the State of the Union address. A vibrant Biden, making his case and stating what he has done for the State of the Union. That was not him. Definitely at the first part of the debate, he found his footing. I don't know if you've ever done debates, but man, I am constantly standing in front of people and speaking, debating, and sometimes you just don't have a good night. You just don't have a good night. I'll never remember in law school, over 20 years ago, I was competing in a competition of those who are, when you're standing before judges and you're laying out your appeals case. It's called appellate advocacy. And there were like 180 students who were competing in it. And I won all the way up to the last four. And everybody thought I would win, So, they were expecting me just to take this thing. But I got in front of those judges and things my mind just went jelly. I mean, just jelly. I mean it. And I stood there for about 10 or 15 minutes trying to get the words out. The words just weren't coming out. All right. And it was about the last 10 minutes of that contest that I got my footing up under me. And it was, I remember when it happened, I said, okay, I'm not going out like this. Okay. In other words, the black dude kicked in and I said, I'm not going out like this. So I just started fighting. I just started arguing. I just started fighting. I don't care if I was right or wrong or whatever. I'm not going to let, and then I got my feet back up under me. And although I didn't get first place, I ended up getting third place. I thought I should have had second place. Now, the first place guy, a fine lawyer that I know to this day, he deserved to win because I just didn't have my best performance. But I came back and took third place out of about 80 students. So I was okay with the fact that I still won at that point. So you just don't, if you do this, you just don't have your best nights every night. And that was not Biden's night. Okay. I understand that he today gave a speech in North Carolina where he was fiery and back at it. So, and then I think the White House said he had a cold. He was suffering from a cold. I don't know. And frankly, once again, I don't care. It will not affect my choice because we choose democracy over dictatorship. We choose character over corruption. And we choose policies over performance. What we saw last night was a performance. What's much, 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 much more important are the policies of these gentlemen and the people behind them. Who's behind Trump? MAGA, Project 2025, the GOP. Their policies are anti-Black. We know that. We know that they have anti-Black policies. They have gutted the Voting Rights Act. They have gutted affirmative action. They are gutting DEI. They have their sights set on the Civil Rights Act. These folks are not for Black people. The Biden's policies, on the other hand, let's look at a couple of them. HBCU, historical funding for HBCUs. I went to 2 HBCUs, 2 of them. 2. I'm well steeped in HBCUs. North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Go Aggies. Aggie born, Aggie bred, and when I die, be Aggie dead. And North Carolina Central University School of Law. Okay, the Eagles. And they're both right up the road from each other. One's in Greensboro, North Carolina. The other one's in Durham, North Carolina. All right, so I love HBCUs. And Biden has earmarked billions of dollars to HBCUs. There have been I did it in a recent video, $167 billion in student loan forgiveness that has impacted about 5 million people, and a disproportionate number of them Black. Okay? He had implemented policies, the Biden-Harris administration, that have lifted a lot of Black children out of poverty. There is also, and this right here is really, really big, the lowest unemployment numbers in history. The lowest unemployment numbers, and we know Trump lies and says he did that. Joe has the lowest Black unemployment numbers during his presidency in American history. Okay? I believe it's 4.37, I think, or 4.73. It's under 5%. Back in April of 2023. See, those kinds of policies mean a whole lot more to me than his performance an hour and a half last night in that debate. You follow me? I'm not basing who the president is going to be based on performance in a debate. Anybody can have a bad night. The question is, can he lead his administration? That's the question. And does he have character? Or is he going to be just lying all the time and, doing all the stuff Trump did so much stuff the 4 years that he was in office, we forgot a lot of that stuff. I can't even remember all the things that he did, the chaos that he caused. I remember how I felt and other people felt. You were just always stressed because, oh my God, what has he done now? What has Trump done now? And so, no. So we could say character over corruption. We could also say character over chaos. It was chaotic, absolutely chaotic. And it ended with an attempted insurrection. It ended on a crescendo. No, we don't want to go back to that. No, 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 no. No. Democracy over dictatorship, character over corruption, policies over performance. All right, I've covered that. Equality over exclusion. Equality over exclusion. Once again, Trump, GOP, MAGA, Project 2025, just that whole crowd, they're not about equality. They hate equality. They hate diversity. They hate inclusion. They want to exclude people, primarily black people. I can't support that. I cannot support that. I will take what the title here says. We choose the older man rather than the con man or the racist man. So we choose equality, not exclusion. African Americans are still fighting for full equality, and we're still fighting to retain what we have been able to obtain over the last several hundred years through the civil rights movement and so on. So I don't care what happened last night. Like I said early on, Joe Biden could have just fell over. I mean, just fell right on his face. And I still would be voting for Biden because I know what this crowd, this GOP MAGA crowd, I know what they're doing. And they're hitting it on all levels, folks. They're doing it in the Congress. They're doing it through the courts. They're doing it through the state legislatures. These opinions that were released today, we're coming back. Chloe's going to definitely be with me, or she's going to do a video where we're going to talk about how they are reshaping our country. They're completely reshaping our country. And we're going to show you, because again, those 6 conservatives are making themselves felt like never before. And let me tell you something. Many of them will be there for the next 20, 30 years. They'll be there impacting your children. They'll be there impacting your grandchildren. Do you follow me? We may be going on, but they'll still be in those seats. Amy Coney Barrett, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, they'll be right there impacting this country and reshaping it for decades to come. And the next president may get the chance to choose another justice or 2. Can you imagine 8, 9 conservatives on the Supreme Court? I mean, right-wing conservatives. Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna go way out on the limb. I'm gonna go way, way, way out on the limb. I think it's time to at least discuss increasing the number of justices on the Supreme Court. I think it is time to at least start considering it, talking about it. I understand the consequences of that, but at least start seriously, the Democrats start seriously thinking about increasing the number of the court. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you, these folks that are on the court now will continue to release these opinions that will move us closer and closer and closer to an autocracy. Why why an autocracy? Why am I concerned about that? Because these folks are operating from fear. Fear of what? Fear of losing power and control of the country because of the browning of the country. So they would rather have some strong man in place like Trump, okay, and then consolidate power in him, okay, so that he would be in place to protect white privilege, white power. That's what this is about. That's why they're rolling back stuff. That's when they say make America great again, that is exactly what they're saying. They want to roll this country back to a time where black folks primarily are in their place. That's what they're trying to do. This is not hyperbole. If you think it is, you must have been under a rock. And maybe I understand it better because I'm an attorney. I read these cases. I see what's happening in court. I understand what they're saying. And it's the reason why I created this YouTube channel. I got a whole lot of other things I could be doing. Chloe and I make a really serious sacrifice to do this because when we're here, we can be writing a response to some motion or making some motion or something else. But we are committed because we know we love, let me say this, we love our people. We love black people. We love black people. We love our people. We love our ancestry. We love our African ancestry. We love our African ancestry. We love you. We love you, black man. We love you, black woman. We love you, black child. We love you, black youth, black teenager. We love you. So we want to tell you what we're seeing from behind the curtains, from where the deals are being made, and come out and let you know what they're doing. And all again you have to think about is gutting the Voting Rights Act. Just think about that. Do you know how hard our ancestors, what they did to gain the right to vote? They literally gave their lives for that. They knew if we can get in a place to vote for the people who are not anti-black and white supremacists, then maybe we can get some folks in place who will pass some laws to help us. And yet they have gutted. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the opinion that started the dismantling of the Voting Rights Act. It's called Shelby County versus Holder. And there have been several more since then. Just think about gutting the Voting Rights Act. That was a shot across the brow. Gutting it. So you don't have to believe me. Just think about it. Which is why it's so distressing to hear black people out here now talking about voting the couch. I don't understand that. I've done videos and more coming on that very topic. All right, let's go back. Coming to a close. So we choose equality over exclusion. Trump and his crowd has attacked black equality. They've attacked civil rights, as I just said. He has appointed many right-wing justices and judges, and they are, wow. Wait till we talk to you about some of these cases that are coming. And last of all, we choose compassion over cruelty. If there's anything that we've seen about about the GOP is there is a lot of cruelty. And if there's anything that we have seen about Joe Biden, he is a compassionate man. I I was intending to play a video because everybody liked to talk about the 1994 crime bill that Joe Biden played a part in. I've made many statements about that. What folks don't know is how strong Joe Biden stood up against apartheid in South Africa about the same time. He stood face to face against white politicians, conservative Republican politicians, stood up against them, against apartheid in South Africa. Joe Biden, he is a decent, compassionate person. Has he done everything right? Back there with that 94 crime bill, back there when they were desegregated? No. And I've said that, I've acknowledged that. But that doesn't make him a white supremacist. That doesn't make him Jim Crow Joe. We're dealing with the Jim Crow folks. And there is not Joe Biden. So I appreciate the compassion that he has shown and that Democrats tend to show. I mean, they're the ones who came up with the Lyndon Johnson with the Great Society, while the GOP fought that. They're the ones who came up with the New Deal. GOP, at that time it was a bunch of Dixiecrats in the Republican Party who were in the Democrat Party. Pardon me. And they, as I've explained to you, who later became the GOP, it was those folks who fought that, right? Lyndon Johnson with the Great Society, Pell Grant. Man, I went to college on a Pell Grant. Pell Grant paid for those years I was at A&T. Pell Grant paid for that. I mean, that's compassion. What else? Early childhood education. It's Democrats who have fought for that kind of stuff. Right? Democrats, Medicare, Medicaid. That's compassion. I choose compassion over cruelty. So, for those 5 reasons, I don't care what happened last night. I'd rather go with the older man rather than the con man. Democracy over dictatorship, character over corruption, policies over performance, equality over exclusion, right? And compassion over cruelty. That's it for me. Maybe that will help you if you're on the fence, if you were impacted by what you saw. Doesn't impact me, not one bit. Not at all. All right, let me just mention some of your comments. Mavis Brooks says, I'm feeling good from Baltimore. Alabama in the house. Hello, Sylvester. You know, when we talk about one of the things we hear a lot about with us African Americans is, you know, Joe Biden let Trump hammered that last night. Millions of folks into the country, right? Immigration. But what Trump didn't mention, and unfortunately Biden didn't either, was that Biden helped put together an immigration reform bill and Trump blocked it. Trump blocked it. No one ever mentioned that last night, which is why we know Biden wasn't on the bet. He was not at the top of his game. And the CNN folks could have done a lot better fact checking some of that stuff Trump was saying. But Trump, as he hammered Biden right there, it was Trump who told the Speaker of the House, don't let that through. And it had bipartisan support. Republican senators, conservatives helped draft it. Biden was ready to sign it, and it would have reformed our immigration system. Trump blocked it and then turns around and blames Biden for what's happening with immigration. That's the kind of man he is. That's the kind of guy he is. All right? All right, few more comments. Somebody said, voting blue until I can't see nothing else but blue. I'm with you. I'm voting blue. All right, that's Frank Fault, Frank Ezekiel Fault. Yes, we need to do everything we can to keep Trump, Project 25, MAGA. And every time I say Trump, I say Project 2025 MAGA because that's who he brings with him. And again, I got this Project 2025 video coming out, and we're gonna take a deep dive. I'm gonna show you why that organization, that effort, that agenda is an anti-democratic agenda, and it's bad for this country. It's bad for democracy. It's bad for us. I'm gonna show it to you. All right, few more. Chloe, hey, sweetheart, I wish you were up here with me. Thanks for joining, everyone. I had technical issues, so I could not join my dad, but I'm in the comments with you. All right, Chloe. Okay. All right. So many comments here. I am not going to be able to get to all of them. And I am not going to waste time on trolls at all. Someone, Miss Annette Brown, asked, how can Trump run for president now that he's a convicted felon? I don't understand. We did a video on that. And yeah, it's because of the Constitution. It does not, the bar is not very high for who can run for the presidency. It's not very high at all. I mean, you just need to be a certain age and born in the country, and it's not very high. It says nothing about whether you're a convicted felon or anything. So it's because of the Constitution. Once again, I'm not giving any space, any time to trolls. And there are several here. Okay. Okay. There's so many, I can't get to all of them. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for commenting. We're going to do more of these lives. You know, we got to get some kinks worked out so we don't have that fiasco we had here earlier. Glad that you all still showed up, though. But it seems like most of you are where I am. It doesn't matter what happened last night. Doesn't matter. And let me say, too, that Vice President Kamala Harris, there are a lot of people who have issues with her. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. She is a very smart woman, strong character. I have no concern with Kamala. I don't agree with everything Kamala espouses. I don't agree because keep in mind, I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am an independent voter. I am not, what is this term they use, a Democratic shield or whatever? I don't even know what that means, but I, if somebody from the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, picked the phone up, called or text or whatever, said, we'll give you such and such money to sponsor your YouTube channel or for you to do this, I would refuse it. I would not take a penny because I believe in what I'm saying. Okay. I've done the research. I know our history. I know the law. I know who has been best for Black people. That's all that matters to me. I'm not interested in being some sort of Democrat, whatever y'all call it, shield or whatever you call it. Not at all. That's not me. In fact, I have some issues with some of the Democratic policies. Okay? All right. So I am going to end this live. It has been a little longer than I wanted, 46 minutes. And some of you all, quite frankly, some of you trolls are just lying. I mean, you're just writing lies. You have no facts, no support for a lot of this stuff. Some of this stuff that most all of it. I some of the, and keep in mind too, some of the trolls are really bots. You know what a bot is, like robot. It's like computers that generate fake YouTube accounts, fake Facebook accounts, and then they just manufacture these crazy comments. Um, and I mean, insulting comments like Black people don't have any brains, any ability to think for themselves. And they just say dumb stuff, just dumb stuff. Okay. Somebody said Biden had a vacant look in his eyes. Had a vacant look in his eyes, like he was not there. Look, I done told you. If Biden had fell over, I mean, literally just fell over on his face, wouldn't change my vote for the reasons I've given. I'm voting for democracy. I'm voting for character. I'm voting for policies. I'm voting for equality. What is this? And I'm voting for compassion. Say it with me. Democracy, character, policies, equality, compassion. I'm voting against dictatorship, corruption, performance, exclusion, and cruelty. And I'll close with this. How can any African American person vote for the GOP when the GOP is obvious? I mean, they're admitting it. They're writing it on websites. that they are anti-white supremacy. I mean, they are anti-white supremacy. In other words, they're for white supremacy. They're putting that everywhere. They're not hiding that. Why would blacks vote to protect white supremacy? Leaves me spellbound. And those of you in the comments, thank you for responding to some of those trolls. Some of those are just bots. Okay, so that is going to do it. You all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Friday afternoon. Chloe and I would have come on last night after the debate, but once again, I was not really moved by what I saw because, I mean, I already know Joe is up in age, but so is Trump, and then when just everything that I strongly dislike about Trump, he displayed it last night in that debate. He displayed it. Somebody says, "I will take this." it is funny. Someone says, "If he pay reparations to Black Americans, I'll vote for Trump tomorrow." Why am I laughing? Trump paying reparations. The GOP paying reparations. MAGA, while they gut the Voting Rights Act, while they gut the Civil Rights Act, while they gut DEIs, this person talks about if Trump will pay reparations, I'll vote for him tomorrow. That means you'll never vote for Trump. So that's actually a good thing. All right, I gotta go. Thank you all for joining me. I love this. Got to do more of this. Got to do more of this. Okay? So, y'all keep talking. You're absolutely right, Mr. Bunyan. Guess what? Old or not, Biden is still the best choice. Somebody says white supremacy is not exclusive to Republicans, but the Republican Party is the party that is committed to protecting white supremacy. I'm not going to sit here and say that every Democrat is not a white supremacist, or there are no white supremacists in the Democratic Party. I'm not going to say that. But the Democratic Party is not committed to protecting white supremacy, like the GOP. With that, I will end. Peace.